Officer Dave, would you open the courtroom for us, please?
The state of Michigan 36th District Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge David S. Robinson Jr. presiding. Court is now in session. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Mr. Perry.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's call your case. All right. We are on. This is file number 22-197219. Midland Credit Management versus Kelly Coleman. This appears to be our initial pretrial. Your appearances, please.
Good morning, Judge. Andrew Perry, P69402 on behalf of plaintiff.
And your name, ma'am?
Kelly Coleman, defendant.
All right, this is our second pretrial. I opened our written discovery when we were last together on March 13th. How is that coming?
Judge, we did send a discovery request to Ms. Coleman mid-March along with the billing statements for the account. We're still waiting to get a response from her.
All right. Ms. Coleman, are you intending to send out any written discovery?
No, because as I stated before, I never had the information for any of that because I'm unaware of the account that I'm doing. Yeah.
Then what I'll do is I'll give you another return date. Your return date with me will be May 15th at 10 o'clock. Does that work for everybody?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, we'll send out an order today then. Thank you both for coming in. We're off the record. Please be safe.
Thanks, you too.
So you're going to hear it right here in the radio. We want to say good morning to Patricia, first time contributor. And her gift is being doubled $1 for $1 thanks to the K and L Puberty Challenge for a new time contributor. So Patricia, thank you. Welcome to WRCJ and your family of listeners. Patricia from Center Line, Michigan. Also, we heard from Thomas in Brighton, Michigan. Thank you, Thomas. And good to hear from you this morning. And also we mentioned from Wade in Clinton Township, Michigan. Thank you. And yeah, he's voted for Strauss pickups. So there's some pledges that we got at WRCJFM.org. John from Roseville, Camden, Inkster, Josh from Royal Oak, all in these last few minutes. And WRCJFM got full criteria. Yeah, very cool. Thanks very much. We'll keep the great music coming your way. We'll keep the calls coming our way. This is the only money we can get. I'd love to hear from you right now. 866-909-97. Celebrating 65 years of lifetime on sound. Featuring Bridgewater, Kurt Ellen, the Piece of Benjamin, Rich and Sand.
Hello?
Hello.
Ms. Murdoch, what brings you here today?
I'm with the case with Stephanie Barnett. I'm just here for a witness,
Excuse me, you're a witness?
to be a witness.
Are you a lawyer licensed to practice law in the state of Michigan?
No, I'm just a witness for Stephanie Barnett's case at 10 o'clock.
All right, ma'am, thank you. Put you back in the waiting room.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, counsel. I don't have your opponent as of yet. So I'll put you back in the waiting room. Wait, maybe this is she here. Let's see. Hello?
Yes.
What is your
Good
name?
morning. Stephanie Barnett.
All right, then let's get started. We are on the record calling file number 22243177. Stephanie Barnett versus Mutual Property Management. Your appearances, please.
Good morning, Judge. Ely Rajani, P 74626 on behalf of the plaintiff.
And what is your name, ma'am? Stephanie
Stephanie
Barnett is
Barnett.
here. All right, the record should also reflect that in addition to Stephanie Barnett, there is a person who has identified themselves as Diana Murdoch, who describes herself as a non-lawyer, as a witness for Stephanie Barnett. I have admitted her into the Zoom, but because she's not going to be offering testimony, I have muted her. So, Mr. Benji, Ms. Barnett, where are we on this file?
Judge, today's a date and time scheduled for our motion for summary disposition, which should be in the court file.
Your motion for summary disposition is in the court file, but it was supposed to be filed on March the 20th. It was not filed until March 27th. She's entitled to 3 weeks, and that didn't give her enough time.
March 27th, 1 second, Judge. I'm looking, let me see. I relied on the scheduling or the pretrial order.
No, because the pretrial order said all motions to be filed by March 20. Your motion was not
Yes.
filed until March.
Correct, Judge. I mailed it in. It should have been postmarked by March 20th because I did mail it in a couple days before.
Well, sir, it's logged in here at March 27th. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a hearing date for that motion.
Okay.
Hearing date will be May 8th at 10 o'clock. Does that work for everybody?
Yes, it does.
Does that work for you, ma'am?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was under the impression that we were going to go ahead on and finalize this today. It seems to keep being dragged and dragged and dragged and dragged on.
You want to, ma'am, you didn't file an answer to the motion for summary disposition. Do you want an opportunity to do so, or do you want me to proceed without an answer from you?
Okay. There's some things that I do.
Excuse me, ma'am, I want an answer to my question.
Yes.
Do you want the time to file an answer, or do you want me to proceed today without an answer?
You can go ahead on, Your Honor, today.
Proceed, okay, so be it. Counsel, your motion for summary disposition, please proceed.
Yes, Judge.
Judge?
Judge, we fully rely on our written brief. I'll summarize our points. This case was initially filed in the small claims court, and my client removed it to the general civil docket. And the plaintiff made claims for damages, stating that there were damages to her personal property due from a flood that occurred, I believe. It wasn't very clear, but nonetheless, Judge, my client, under the lease agreement between both parties, my client would not be liable per the lease agreement, which is a written legal document, which is binding to this court. Second, there was an issue regarding DTE. I'm not sure, the complaint didn't specify exactly what the claims were. However, under the lease agreement, section 4, the defendant or of the plaintiff is responsible for and liable for any utilities, which includes gas, electric under DTE, and the water bill. Finally, Judge, we ask that regardless of the plaintiff's claims, even if this court does find in her favor, even though we categorically deny them, the plaintiff has an outstanding balance of rent to be paid to my client of $5,515. So therefore, my client should not be liable for any damages. If anything, we could have easily filed a counter complaint, but my client didn't wish to do so.
All right. Ma'am, is there anything you want to tell the court?
Yes, Your Honor, there is. First of all, this had gone through the small claims, which was thrown out because of the property, that the condition of the property, that the people that maintenance, I'm sorry, not maintenance, the property, the condition of the property, it was not habitable for me and my family to live in. There were electrical wiring problems, flooding, rats, bugs, everything. It was bad condition where I had to be moved out my family and we were homeless. This, as far as what's being owed or anything, was thrown out because of the condition of it, and there's evidence from the city. I thought I was going to have a witness today that lived there just 4 months prior to me, and the same living conditions with her. But I can only speak for myself, and I do have a witness. This property, maintenance mutual property, did not give me my family a safe, clean, and place to live. We almost was in a fire. This is not how you give people to live, and it's the case was thrown out because of the findings through the city. They have multiple findings of the property, and they should not have rented property, but they did. And so at that, me being homeless, losing everything that I have, because if the property wasn't fit to live in, all they had to tell me was they didn't have any rental property for me. And, it was my situation at that time, which would have been, on me. I would not just give. I know I can't live free. I have to pay. And it's really hard finding a place to live here. But, Judge, I feel that I've been wrong. And this property owed me from the problems, the headache that I've gone through. And all they had to do was fix it up. And that's all I have to say. And just want to be done with them.
All right.
And as far as, could I say one more thing? As far as the water bill, is something going on at that address? Because I called DT Energy, and I called DT Energy in November of 2021. And I told them I was no longer living there and to shut the service off. Some kind of way the service came back on, and they did an investigation because somebody had my password and everything, and turned the services on. And the water bill is theirs too because of the multiple flooding and the damage of the home due to flooding of their basement, and that's on them.
Right.
I don't owe them anything.
All right, Mr. Benji, your response.
Yes, Judge. If she claims that she doesn't owe us anything, then we definitely don't owe the plaintiff anything. Regarding her statement about her issues with DTE and a password, that's not my client's responsibility. Furthermore, the troubles that she had to go through, and her being homeless and all, that was voluntarily on her. My client has a hotline it responds to all repair requests immediately. And at this point, the plaintiff hasn't provided a shred of evidence showing that she made any request to my client, and my client failing to do so. Further, regarding the fire and floods in the home, these are acts of God. My client cannot control those. I understand we can remediate if the plaintiff
Excuse
made
me,
a
ma'am.
request.
You have to let him speak without making noises. Counsel, continue.
If through the fire and flood, if any damages were made which may render the home uninhabitable, then she must have contacted my client, which would never happen. And my client was never put on notice to make these repairs. These are all requirements under the lease agreement.
All right. Thank you both. Court is prepared to rule. This is the date and time set for the motion for summary disposition filed by the defendant under MCR 2.116C10, claiming that there is no genuine issue of material fact. The complaint in this matter indicates that the plaintiff complains of loss of items in the home, flooding, rats, bugs, homeless due to landlord property failing, city correction order, not up to code, lost everything I had in the home, plus utility bills. The defendants filed this motion for summary disposition. No answer to that motion was filed by the plaintiff in this matter. MCR 2.116 G4 is relatively specific here. A motion under subrule C10 must specifically identify the issues as to which the moving party believes there is no genuine issue as to any material fact. When a motion under subrule C10 is made when supported as provided in this rule, an adverse party may not rest upon the mere allegations or denials of his or her pleadings, but must, by affidavit or otherwise provided in this rule, set forth specific facts showing that there's a genuine issue for trial. If the adverse party does not so respond, judgment, if appropriate, shall be entered against him or her. In this case, the defendant had provided the court with the lease. The lease provides that under section 4, the plaintiff is responsible for the utilities and dealing with DTE. Further, the lease further provides specifically that the plaintiff is supposed to obtain property damage insurance. And under section 17 specifically says, apparently appears that claims were brought apparently by the plaintiff against the city of Detroit and water department, but the Third Circuit denied those claims. That's res judicata as to me. I have no ability to overrule the decision of the Wayne County Circuit Court. In any event, section 17 of the lease, which was appended to the pleading, specifically provides that the tenant hereby covenants and agrees to purchase needed insurance to protect themselves, their family, and their guests and their personal property, or tenant may choose to self-insure by accepting full personal responsibility for such mishaps as may be covered by commercially available insurance to offset risk of loss or damage, and to make no claim against the owner or owner's employees or landlord for any such damages or items. The unopposed motion for summary disposition is granted under MCR 2.116 C10. Court will send out an order today. Ma'am, you have an absolute right to appeal my decision, and appeal must be perfected in 21 days today in the Wayne County Circuit Court. Thank you all for coming in. We are off the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you don't want us to provide a proposed judgment, or the court?
I'll send an order today. It'll provide for dismissal.
Okay.
Under the decision that I've granted summary disposition.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. You and your staff have a wonderful day.
And the sign, the bottom separate small LED. Discount that. That always 135 to 120. That's right. Nice. 866-909-9725. WRCJFM.org. Faith Limited is only 2 votes. This next one. There we are. Here he is. This is 30 months. Mozart's music, and he wrote only one clarinet concerto. Boy, is it a dandy, and that's the third movement. Clarinet concerto, A major on Mozart there with Richard Stoltzman playing clarinet. 27 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock Monday morning. Yeah, it's a Monday Mozart, and it's also Monday Bach and Monday Beethoven as we play your favorite top composers. We're asking people to call in right now, creating our spring membership drive, and you make that contribution. Tell us your three favorite composers. And Peter's been busy at the leaderboard all day. This is like election night. It's very exciting. I'm so tired. I feel like I've been up all night. Like, well, you keep jumping up on it. You got to keep changing that's happening too. I did just do that, like you say, Dave. Tony just gave us his favorite three composers: Bach, Beethoven, and Scriabin. Oh, wow. I mean, we had kind of we had who was oh yeah, Diana went Bach, Mozart, Shostakovich, and then Tony was like Bach, Beethoven, Scriabin. He kind of won up. That yeah, that's right. I'm waiting for some organists to do like Bach, Beethoven, and Nicholas McNeil. That would be. I am a big fan, and they really. Yeah, he's like an organ guy. He's an organ guy. He wrote only 46 pieces for organ. Leave the organ built by Lee. And if Bach liked your stuff, he would copy one or two pieces. Bach copied the entire repertoire. All 46 pieces. So he kind of dug Nick. Oh, he did. He was really. Patricia votes for Bach, right? That was Debussy and Chopin. And yeah, Fred's coming out strong here. Well, let's see. We started with Beethoven, the 8th Monoverture, and then it's like, okay, Mozart came up and said, hey, you think that's good? Listen to this, right? And then, of course, I hope he's not just toying with this, but Johann Sebastian. Wow. So it's Beethoven first, then Mozart says, who wrote a clarinet concerto? This guy. Yeah, and then Bach is in third. So we're going to hear Bach next, right? Yeah, Bach is coming up right here on the radio. And we also just heard from Ronald in Sterling Heights. So he said, yeah, go for Mozart. I guess he's just picking one person here. Because sometimes you just can't decide. No, I guess so. Yes, yeah, he's Mozart all the way. Thank you, Robbie. Thanks for leaving. So okay, so here is music of Oh, there you have it. He threw it down. It wants to last you back. Hey. He's gonna come up to the mark. The keyboard concerto number 2 in B Baker. That's one of the recordings with Murray at the Academy of St. Martin. He's not gonna miss being on the medal stand, you know, by the end of this competition. Beethoven's in first. Your favorite composer voting on these last few days. Mozart in second. Bach is starting to pull away in third place. Tchaikovsky was getting pretty close. He came within a vote or two. I mean, I'm guessing you can't count out. He's going to hang in there. But Bacchus is kind of reestablished himself in a solid third place. He'll be gaining on Mozart here pretty soon as people vote at WRCK's Facebook page, and as people like you. As you vote for your favorite composers, your favorite three composers, when you call 866-909-9725. We're having a lot of fun with this. You can vote at WRCJ's Facebook page too, and we hope that you'll make a gift to WRCJ. It's also, taking care of business time for WRCJ as we ask for your support of this listener-supported community resource, a public radio station that just plays music around the clock. We're the only one here in Southeast Michigan and Southern Ontario who plays classical and jazz music all the time. 866-909-9725 WRCJFM.org. We're hoping for about 10 calls this hour to stay on track for this campaign. We've got 3 in so far. We've just been having a lot of fun listening to music. So we're down to 7 calls that we need in this hour to keep on track for the spring campaign. 866-909-9725. Well, I say good morning to Robert in South Lyon, Michigan. Thank you, Robert, for calling in. Thank you for renewing your membership. So new thank you gifts. They play Mobile Mozart for $40. Our 100 and best Mozart CD bundle, 6 CDs in all. A membership of about $120 a year. Or sustaining membership of just $10 a month. Bundle those both together. The Mozart Playmobil figurine and the 100 and best Mozart pieces of all times. That's an entire day of Mozart. Just put in your CDs and let them go. That's going to take 8 hours of nonstop listening there. And bundle them together, as I mentioned. We'll put both of them together for a discounted price of $12.50 a month. And that's a one-time gift of $150. Yeah, if you're like my neighbor Tim, and you have to like drive to Indianapolis and back, typical day, then you're all set. Yeah. Yeah, that might be a day. Yeah, you can drive. Yeah. So that would take care of your trip right there. Say you got to drive, to Grand Haven and back. Yeah, that's going to do it for you. You'll hear the 100 best Mozart in your CD collection, your 6 CD collection, and that's a day's drive. But you'll be able to listen to your entire Mozart collection. That'll take you all the way back. You know, I was talking about being on vacation and taking along the Bruckner symphonies, which I never actually, I guess, really had time to sit down and listen to. And when you listen to Bruckner, you also have to listen to not only the symphonies, but the revisions of the revisions that he did. I mean, there's like multiple versions, right? But it was one of those, times, like you said, I had time on my hand and that was my project. And I really came away with kind of an appreciation of Bruckner that I never had before. So that's a great thing about, some kind of serious deep listening. And you can do this with the 100 Best Mozart 6 CD bundle or membership. Yeah, I'm so glad we got this. Yeah, every time we do our spring membership drive, we do try to come up with something new for you. And then also have some of our favorites, which are the WRCJ wearables, or they gave back the logo items that we have, and we'd be proud to be associated. 866-909-9725. This is the only Monday they're coming to you asking for your support during our spring membership drive. I know we still, Peter, have some money on the table from our listener challenge. Still a few $100 left to meet our Kresge challenge of $20,000. 866-909-9725. So you can still get your gift doubled by the concert presenting organizations and individuals who've all donated like $1,000+ each to come up with a total of $20,000 match for these folks, the Public Rescue Society at that $1,000 level. And you can have your gift doubled. 866-909-9725, WRCJFM.org. Again, by the numbers, we're hoping for 10 calls this hour. Today on track for the day. We're down to 7 to go. We'll check this in just a second, but 7 calls to go now, and we'll remain on track for the goal for this morning. 866-909-9725. Looking at this 100 best Mozart recordings. Herbert von Karajan in Berlin, Sir Thomas Beecham of the BBC Philharmonic, Neville Mariner, Kevin of St. Martin in the Fields, Anne-Sophie Mutter performing some of the violin and piano sonatas, Riccardo Muti, and in Philadelphia. I mean, these are great performances by some of our finest contemporary performers and some classics as well. And the 100 best Mozart set for just $10 a month. 866-909-9725. Okay, coming up. In fourth place here is this guy, Peter Elias Tchaikovsky. Well, now you know why he's in the top five, talking about Tchaikovsky there, the phenomenon from his symphony number 4 in F minor. The old joke is, Peter, that Tchaikovsky wrote 3 symphonies, 4, 5, and 6. Those are the ones that are played all the time. Yeah. Now here's another guy like Schubert that had that gift with melody. I mean, he really could write things, and really, really was not so bad with his counterpoint either, and was a big fan of Mozart. Solid, yeah, it's pretty right in there. With Mozart. Our spring membership drive. I'm so glad you're with us this morning, and thank you for being part of our family of support for WRCJ. We're an independent public radio station. We bring you music 24 hours a day. We bring you live broadcasts. The Detroit Symphony Orchestra had 2 of them coming up here in short order on Friday morning. Not only here on WRCJ, but across the state on our WRCJ Detroit Symphony Orchestra Radio Network. Have had the complete season of Detroit Opera on the Radio Freedom, Ann Arbor Symphony yesterday, Michigan Philharmonic. I start naming the organizations and I keep thinking I'm gonna leave some out.
866-909-9725, the number to call to join all the organizations that we're talking about, that kind of rally around the great music that we all love and enjoy together here on the radio. A lot of our old favorites and a lot of new discoveries from the new release of the week that we've just started recently, and exciting young artists and people who come to town to perform with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra and the Detroit Opera and those live broadcasts. It's all here on WRCJ. We call to you. We're here for you because you're there for us during our membership campaigns, just like this one. 10 calls is our goal in this hour. We have 4 to go to stay on track in the next 4 minutes. You can help us to stay on target for this campaign in this hour at 866-909-9725. And thanks a lot for playing along with our favorite composers vote that we've had these last few days. Sharon votes for Beethoven, Mozart, and Aaron Copeland. Copeland's on the board, and he's got a few votes now. Beethoven in first, Mozart stays in second, Bach is in third, Tchaikovsky in fourth. We just heard our top 4 vote getters in this hour. In our next hour, it's the second 4, and I believe we start with Vivaldi, and then we have some Chopin, Dvorak, and there's right. So I mean, we're giving the underdogs for lack of a term. I mean, we're giving them a chance for you to kind of just remind yourself why you love all of these composers, and so we're not just kind of locking it in here for the top 3 or top 4. Although you certainly are coming through with your votes. 866-909-9725. Now, when you do that, put yourself up the leading board right now, keeping track of this. This is exciting. This is like election night. I'm trying to remember the guy that does the board there on TV. And he's got the little electronic board. But you've got. I like this. You have the analog right here. I have a whiteboard and a dry erase art. I put a picture of it. See, Beethoven's previous, the same sort of leaderboard that Johann Sebastian Bach had back in the day when he was keeping track of what he was doing each Sunday. Every Sunday there, I'm up with the guitar. That is unforgiving, and just like people might have to call up to do so yeah, so we're respectful of tradition. That's why we've got the vice desk. Peter said we have on the board here. I want to remind people that you will never be without WRCJ. You will never be without your. You will never be without a flashlight to help find the key. You know what I'm talking about? I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've got one, and I broke it out. Yeah, American Symphony Radio. It has a solar panel on top, AM, FM, weather radio. It will give you the weather alert.
if there's a serious storm, and for the rest of the time, you can just enjoy listening to music or listening to the ball game or listening to whatever station you want to listen to. AM, FM, weather radio. It's got the crank on the side. You can charge your cell phone. Yes, it does have a flashlight there. And you know, crank it, you know, when the power's on, which no, for sure. When the power's on, you can also use a charger that way. It's always gonna be ready. And that's the beautiful thing, how that works. Yeah, and the nice thing, you know, as you said, oh, finally, there's something that, one, I don't have to have a subscription for it. And two, I don't have to remember the password. Right. Seriously, just turn it on.
I change every 6 months. You don't have to do, you don't have to change your password.
Yeah.
Every 6 months with the just yet another reason to get the WRCJ emergency crank rating. You can change it.
Yeah, no, I'd love to see a show of hands with people at work where every 6 months, you know, because, you know, it's a major law right there. We gotta change our passwords. It's like, I've gone through that so many times. I'm running out of different passwords.
I just put the leaderboard on the WRCJ's Facebook page, so keep your expectations low when you see it. You know, you won't be impressed, but you will see the actual leaderboard during the studios. That shows that Beethoven's in the lead and then Mozart, and you see it's very, 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 very impressive. Yeah, it isn't, you know, well, you get the technology going on here. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and slash across for the number 5.
Well, the people will be happy to know that we are not squandering their contributions on fancy stuff here in the studio. We don't have that. We heard from David from Brazil, who has voted for Beethoven, Mozart, Samsung. I think that's a TV. No, that's Samsung. Oh, Samsung. Oh, okay, there you go. Okay. Beethoven, we go back here. Beethoven, Mozart, and Saint-Saëns. Yeah, Samsung. Really? Saint-Saëns is on the board. Oh. Okay, while you're up there, Doris from Cole, Michigan said, oh, she's got Mozart, Beethoven, and Richard Strauss. Beethoven and Richard Strauss. Longtime listener says, thank you, Doris, from the she said, and longtime listener since Dave Wagner signed off. Well, I'm not ready to sign off, Doris, but thank you. Or maybe she should sign off. No, Doris, I kind of keep track of all of these things. We also heard from Carol. Okay, well, I'll make a note of this. Carol from Plymouth, Michigan. This is the first time I contributed. Thank you, Harold. Thank you so much. Technology. Fred from Bruce Point Children's also just being a gift of WRCJ-FM network, so we can do it. WRCJ-FM and each one when we try to Mozart, Corelli, and Baccarini. Oh man, I love this. I love this when we get like new composers here. Yeah, Baccarini. Now, so for years, Baccarini was remembered for that like one little piece that little minuet. And so I was trying to figure out why that was, and then someone told me, that was the perfect music that could fit on one side of the 78 RPM record.
I thought it was the perfect length for washing your hands.
That's the bar. Yeah, that's the bar. Oh, right here. The section. Yeah, it's like now you have a toothbrush that the Baccarini toothbrush and I like it. But yeah, back in the day, it's like, hey, take a minuet, wash your hands, and the brush your teeth, and don't stop. Don't stop until there's a cop out. The cop would take all the repeats, and back to the beginning. So that's okay. Let's see what they are. We had all full this hour. And go back and we started off with 10 calls in this hour. To 7 and then 3 on them. So yes, thank you for calling in. membership drive is really Monday morning. Today. That's 866-909. Town is powered by the
Mr. Jamal,
Yes, good morning, Judge.
you and Gavin Gray are in the same office?
Yes, and Gavin's no longer with our office, so.
Okay, I've got a problem with a recurrent problem with pleadings filed over his name. My name is being misspelled. It is Robinson, not SIN. Let me give you one of the case numbers.
Yeah, please.
23-141-464.
I apologize for that, Your Honor. I'll make sure that gets cleared up on our end.
I appreciate it. Let me see if we can get your opponent here and get started.
Thank you.
Hello,
Yes, I'm here.
what is your name?
My name is Laura McDuffie.
We are on the record. This is file number 22195-542, DNF Associates versus Laura McDuffie. This appears to be our fourth pretrial on this case. Your appearances.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Joseph Jamal on behalf of the plaintiff, P71254.
And your name again, ma'am?
Laura McDuffie.
Okay, are we done with our written discovery here, folks?
We are, yes. I
Yes.
was under the impression that the motion for summary was scheduled for today. I don't know if that is the case, Your Honor, but we are done with discovery at this point, and I hope defendant at this point has received the motion as well as any sort of documentation that was filed with it.
Well, your motion for summary was filed on March 29th, so I'm not sure we even got 3 weeks in there necessary, but it has
Okay.
not been calendared. All right, so what I'm going to do, Ms. McDuffie, have you received that
Yes.
motion for summary disposition?
Yes,
Okay,
I did.
okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to calendar it. The hearing date will be May 15 at 10 o'clock. Does that work for everybody?
Okay, that's fine.
That works for us, yes.
Now, ma'am, if you're gonna file an answer, you need to file and serve your answer right away. And a copy of your answer goes both to the plaintiff and to the court, okay?
Yes, sir.
May 15th at 10 o'clock. Thank you all for coming in. Is there anything else we can do today?
Nothing further.
Anything for you, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, we're off the record.
No,
Thank you both for coming in.
thank you.
Thank you all.